Hey baby, I don't even know how to say this without my heart giving me away, but last night at exactly 2 a.m., I was wide awake, staring at the ceiling like it held answers. And you know what kept me there? You, not just your face or your laugh, or the way your voice lingers in my chest like a favorite song, but something else, something deeper. It was the shape of you, that one curve, that one silhouette that only I've memorized the way I have. It hit me out of nowhere, like a wave in the middle of calm, and baby, I couldn't fight it. I didn't even want to. You don't know how often your memory steals my sleep, but this time, it wasn't just memory. It was desire. It was devotion. It was something sacred wrapped in heat. And it wasn't about lust. It was about how you feel like home. How just the thought of your body in its truest form, unfiltered, unhidden, unapologetic, makes me ache in a way that has nothing to do with wanting and everything to do with needing. I laid there thinking about how the world never truly sees you the way I do. They see a woman, but I see a miracle in motion. I see the slope of your shoulders, where I want to rest all my tired thoughts. I see the curve of your waist, where my peace fits like a lock finally found its key. I see your hips, soft but sure, like the universe placed its rhythm there and told you to carry it gracefully. And God, baby, I imagine tracing those lines not to claim you, but to honor you. I see that shape, and my chest tightens, not from hunger, but from reverence. Because I know that what you carry, your softness, your fire, your ache, your surrender, it was never meant for the eyes of the world. It was meant for someone who could read between the lines, for someone who could hear the quiet song your body sings without needing words. And I swear to you, I hear it, loud and clear, that shape of you at 2 a.m. It wasn't just a thought, it was a reminder that the woman I'm in love with isn't just beautiful, she's breathtaking. And I don't say that lightly. You take my breath, even from miles away, even in silence, even when all I have is memory and imagination, and this burning ache to hold you, like I was made to. You don't know what it does to a man, to feel something so deep it moves beyond attraction into something divine. You don't know what it means to me to think of you like that. Not because you're sexy, but because you're mine. Because I've fallen for your shape, not in the way the world does, but in the way a man falls to his knees when he finally sees the answer to a prayer he never dared speak out loud. So baby, if you've ever felt unseen, if you've ever wondered if someone out there sees the parts of you you hide beneath baggy clothes or silent insecurities, know this: I see you, all of you, even in the dark, especially in the dark, and I never want to unsee you again. Type, I feel seen, if you've ever wished someone would love every soft, hidden shape of you, not for how it looks, but for how it feels to be held like art. You know what's wild, baby? That even after all this time, after all the late night talks, the quiet moments, the words we've said and the ones we couldn't, your body still feels like a mystery I'm desperate to memorize. Not in a shallow way, but in a way that feels like my soul is craving to remember something it once knew. That shape of yours, the one that haunted me last night at 2 a.m. It wasn't about desire. It was about devotion. It was about knowing that there is a place on this earth that feels like peace. And for me, that place is every curve and corner of you. I can't explain it. I don't want to. I just want to keep feeling it. Feeling you. Not just in flesh, but in energy, in silence, in the way the air shifts when I close my eyes and you show up in my mind like a vision I was never meant to forget. There's this one image that keeps playing on repeat. You, standing near the window, the moonlight wrapping around your skin like it's trying to remember you. And I swear, in that stillness, you were everything. Every dream I didn't know how to pray for. Every soft line the universe sculpted with patience and intention. I don't just think about your body when I'm alone, baby. I feel it in my chest, like a weight I carry with pride. And it's not about ownership, it's about honor. You see, when I imagine you like that, it's not just what I see, it's what I feel. I feel your courage, your stories, your tiredness, your power, the way you carry all of it inside that shape and still move through this world like a storm disguised as silk. You don't know how sacred that is to me, how much it means to know that I get to love a woman who wears her softness like armor, who lets me close enough to witness the parts of her that she's kept hidden from the world. That shape I imagined, it wasn't lust. It was a prayer answered in skin and breath and grace. A prayer that said, let me love her right. Let me be the man who doesn't flinch when her body tells the truth. Let me be the one who listens when her breath catches, not with judgment, but with reverence. Because that sound you make when you stretch in the middle of the night, that breathy little exhale that slips out when you think no one's listening, it drives me mad in the best, most sacred way. It tells me you're real, that you're alive, that you're human, and that I'm lucky enough to witness it. Last night, I didn't even try to sleep. I didn't want to. Just kept holding that vision in my head of you, raw and unfiltered, not dolled up, not posing, just existing. And God, baby, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Because in that image, you are more than a body. You were a universe, a whole cosmos of emotion and energy and untamed spirit. You were love in motion. And I could have stayed lost in that vision forever. Comment mine if you've ever wanted someone to love every inch of you. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. It's soft. It's yours. And baby, that man, he's going to love you in ways no poem could ever capture. Not just in the way he touches your body, but in the way he listens to what it's been trying to say all along. He's not just drawn to your skin. He's drawn to the story it holds. He'll trace every scar, not with curiosity, but with respect. He'll kiss the parts of you that you've tried to hide. even from yourself, and make them feel like sacred ground. This man isn't just showing up for your curves, your voice, your fire. He's showing up for the quiet moments, the tired eyes, the stretch marks of survival, the ache behind your laughter, the parts of you that whisper when everyone else is too loud to hear. He'll listen. When you think you're too much, he'll step closer and say, "No, baby, you are just right." When you try to shrink because the world taught you to stay small, he'll pull you into his arms and remind you, you were born to be seen. All of you. He will not flinch when your walls shake. He will not run when your softness turns to flame. He's not afraid of the heat you carry. In fact, it's the very thing he's been searching for. Because for a man like him, intimacy isn't a destination. It's a daily decision, and he'll choose you again and again with eyes that memorize your movement, hands that never forget your shape, and a soul that doesn't need to be convinced. You are his home. He'll love you slowly, fully, reverently, the way your body leans into sleep when it knows it's safe, the way your breath returns to normal when it's no longer bracing for pain. That's how he'll love you. Not to impress, not to conquer, but to honor. Because you're not a fantasy to him. You're not something to consume. You are sacred. You are real. You are the answer to a longing he didn't know how to name. He'll remember the way your fingers twitch when you're dreaming. He'll remember your favorite side of the bed. He'll remember the sound your breath makes when you start to cry but try to hide it. And he'll never let you feel like you have to be strong when all you want is to rest. His strength will be your softness. His warmth will be your safe space. He won't rush the moment your voice cracks, or the way you hesitate before trusting again. He'll wait. He'll wait and wait and wait. Because he knows the woman you are is worth building a lifetime around. And on those nights, baby, when the world has been too much, and your shoulders are tired from holding it all in, he'll pull you close and whisper, "Let it go. You don't have to carry it anymore. I've got you now." Because this man, he's not just going to undress your body, he's going to unburden your soul. He's not here for just the 2 a.m. heat. He's here for the 2 p.m. overthinking, the 7 a.m. anxiety, the 11 p.m. silence. He's going to love all of it. All of you. Especially the parts you thought no one would ever stay for. And when your insecurities rise, he won't dismiss them. He'll draw them in, softly, and prove them wrong without saying a word. Just by showing up, just by staying, just by continuing to love you in the quiet, the chaos, the curve of your spine, and the calm of your breath. He'll study the way you unravel and never see it as weakness, only as permission to hold you closer. And when the rest of the world demands performance, he'll crave only your truth. He won't love the idea of you. He'll love the reality, the flawed, fiery, fearful, phenomenal reality. And baby, if you've ever wondered whether that kind of love really exists, let this be your confirmation. It does, and it's coming for you with every heartbeat of a man who's finally ready to meet your soul exactly where it is. Type He's worth the wait in the comments if your soul feels this. And baby, when I say he's worth the wait, I mean every second, every heartbreak, every silence, every delay that brought you here. I know you've been strong for too long. I know you've convinced yourself you're okay carrying it all alone. I know you've smiled when you wanted to scream. You've stayed when you should have walked away. You've lowered your voice so the world could feel more comfortable. But baby, he's coming. And he won't ask you to be less so he can feel more. He won't ask you to dim your light just so he can shine. He'll bring his own fire. And he'll stand beside you, not in front of you, not behind you, but beside you, every step of the way. This man, he won't be afraid of your independence. He won't flinch when your voice rises with truth. He won't try to tame you or twist you into someone more palatable. No, baby. He'll look at you in your rawest, wildest, truest form and fall deeper in love. Because of it, he'll see the sharp edges and the softness. He'll see the warrior and the woman. He'll see the one who's held herself up for far too long and offer a place for you to finally rest. He'll never punish you for your past. He won't hold your mistakes against you or treat your vulnerability like ammunition. He won't run when you cry or fold when you fall silent. He'll reach for your hand, not out of pity, but out of devotion. Because your silence won't scare him. Your mood swings won't push him away. Your emotional waves won't drown him. He'll learn how to float with you. He'll learn how to anchor you. He'll learn what your body needs without needing to be told. Because when a man loves you from his soul, he doesn't need instruction. He listens with his spirit. And baby, in the quietest hour, when you can't sleep, when your mind is loud and your heart feels heavy, this man won't just turn over and fall back asleep. He'll pull you closer. He'll whisper into the crown of your hair, "I've got you," and you'll believe it, not because of the words, but because of the way he shows up, consistently, lovingly, without fail. He'll be the man who holds you in your softness and praises you in your power. He'll make room for your fire and your fatigue, for your laughter and your breakdowns. He'll never make you choose between strength and surrender, because to him, you'll be most beautiful when you're both. He's not here to complete you. He's here to walk beside you in completeness. You won't have to beg him to show up. You won't have to chase his energy. You won't have to decode his silences or doubt his feelings. His presence will be his promise. And every time you question if you're too much, he'll look you in the eyes and say, "You are everything." He'll love the way your voice catches when you're holding back tears. He'll love the way you fidget when you're nervous. He'll love the way you pretend to be okay when you're not, and then gently invite you to be real with him. He'll kiss the part of you that believes you have to be perfect to be loved, and he'll show you over and over again that you don't. That being loved isn't something you earn. It's something you simply receive. When the man is right and your soul is ready, you'll fall in love with your 2 a.m. confessions, your sleepy voice, your silly ideas, and the way your mind wanders. He'll remember how you like your tea. He'll notice how your nose crinkles when you're annoyed. He'll memorize your favorite songs, your nervous habits, your quiet preferences, and he'll hold them like treasure, not because he wants to possess you, but because he wants to cherish you, because he knows how rare a heart like yours is, how sacred your energy is, how fierce and fragile your soul can be, all at once. And if the world ever makes you feel like you're too emotional, too intense, too much, he'll be the one who looks at you with soft eyes and says, "No, baby, the world was just never ready for a love like yours." He'll make you feel safe, not because he's perfect, but because he's present. And presence, baby, is the rarest kind of love in a world full of distractions. He'll put the phone down. He'll sit in the silence with you. He'll stay for the uncomfortable conversations. He'll grow, not because you asked, but because he wants to be the man your heart feels safe with. So baby, if you're still wondering whether a love like this really exists, whether someone could ever see all of you and still stay, let this be your reminder. He's already being guided to you and the way he'll love you. It will be steady. It will be wild. It will be patient. It will be honest. And it will never, ever leave you wondering where you stand. Type "he's already mine" in the comments if your heart is still holding space for this kind of love. And baby, I don't think you even understand what you did to me that night. When I looked at you, soft light catching every delicate line of your body, the way your breath shifted, the subtle sound you didn't even know escaped your lips, I knew something inside me would never be the same again. It wasn't just that you looked irresistible. It was that, for the first time in my life, I saw what surrender looked like. Real surrender. You let go, not to me, but in front of me. And that made me want to protect you like nothing ever has before. That moment wasn't about lust. It was about reverence, about feeling like I was watching something holy, something only God could have created. And I still can't stop playing it in my head. You don't even know how powerful you are when you're not performing, when you're just being. That sound, baby, that subtle breathy ache, like your body was whispering a truth your lips couldn't form. Do you even realize what it did to me? I froze, not because I was scared of desire, but because I wanted to make sure I remembered everything. The exact shape of your silhouette, the way your hand moved without thinking, the little curve at the corner of your lips. I memorized it, like a prayer I never wanted to forget. Because in that moment, you weren't just a woman to me. You were the embodiment of softness, of power, of wild vulnerability that had finally decided to trust. And that's when it hit me. You don't even realize the way you heal. Without trying, you mend things inside me that I thought would never find light again. Your presence resets my nervous system. Your laughter calms every anxious voice in my head. Your warmth is like an anchor that brings me back from places I sometimes drift to. I've spent years pretending not to need anyone, and then you came with your quiet storms and gentle chaos, and without permission, you built a home in my heart. I didn't know how to let you in, but somehow you let yourself in anyway. And now I'm ruined for anyone else. Because no one else made me feel like I could cry without shame. No one else made me feel like my silence was still understood. No one else traced my fears with their energy and whispered back, "You're safe now." But you did, baby.